Good morning, guys. I'd like to talk today about the similarities between spiritual awakening and someone that's in recovery from drugs and alcohol, and any addiction, really. Spiritual awakening is, in essence, a discovery. And for my recovering friends, it really is recovery. They're trying to recover, re-grasp their life. And for those of faith, they're rediscovering or discovering their faith. Now, just like most people that have, when some people find Jesus, not all, some, but when they find Jesus, they discover out loud. They want everyone to know God's word. And there are many people in recovery that are the same. They recover out loud. They want you to know. They need you to know. And then there are some that aren't as loud, but everyone's different. But it is recovery and discovery. And they're very similar. It's like an NDE, a near-death experience. The similarities are amazing when someone has a near-death experience, and that could quite easily be a recovering person. But they call it hitting bottom. If it's not a near-death experience, they call it hitting bottom. And once they hit bottom, there's no way, there's only up from there. In other words, they're on a foundation. They can't go no lower. And they won't. That's the choice they made. They won't go any lower. And for every person, rock bottom is different. But they land on a foundation. And people that have come into faith, same thing. They've either gone to a, quote, bottom, or they finally found the foundation to build upon, just like someone in recovery. It's different for everyone, but they are so similar. You see, even in the Bible and stories of the Apocrypha, people that God chooses to do his will are sometimes the worst sinners there are out there. And yet they're all redeemed. And just like in recovery, there's different programs of recovery. Some are God-based, some are not. But the faith and recovery are so similar. They really are. Discovering your faith and recovering into life. Now, there are NDEs, which are near-death experiences. And again, like I said, I'm using these for examples. Some people that have a near-death experience, swear they're right there with Jesus, or Jesus came to them, or they're right there with a divine entity, or they are there right there with dead loved ones, or aliens, or whoever. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's horrific, sometimes it's beautiful. And like a near-death experience, even with our friends that are addicted and are coming out of addiction, one of the things that you can see that I've been blessed with is you can hear a real one. You can hear a real NDE. I mean, truly a real one. Now, there are some that people just want to believe in it so bad because it's so beautiful. But the truth is, they're not all of the divine nature. And when you hear a person in recovery that talks about their trials and their burdens that they've gone through, one thing that no one will doubt is what they've done in their story, because they can hear it within it, because they lived that same life. They can hear the truth where most Christians cannot discern that truth because they haven't lived it. But the person that lived it, they know. The person that experienced it, they know. They understand that people are different. But to truly see a true near-death experience, that's just it. But you see, in a person recovering, there's not one of them up there that are exaggerating what they did. Because you see, what they have to do, which most Christians aren't familiar with, is you see, a person in recovery has to be honest with themselves. And most people in recovery have a hard time looking in the mirror due to shame, humiliation, etc. But they get the strength to look in the mirror. Like, for instance, when they're just in recovery, they look in the mirror just briefly because it's hard to face yourself. But Christians look in the mirror and think they're okay. You know, the old saying, once saved, always saved, which I'm not a fan of and I don't believe. I think it's no different than the person recovering. You're to try and stay in a state of grace. People in recovery have the objective one day at a time. And most Christians view this world as, well, I'm here one more day until the good Lord takes me. But those that want the rapture, they're counting down the days to when they can leave. And those in recovery are counting the days that they've been reborn again into life. So there's differences and similarities. But the truth is, I always look from the outside. I always try and see every aspect of the parable, if you will. And you see, a lot of times I can see from my own perspective, maybe not necessarily what they can't, but I can see even the ones that are going through a recovery that is not God-based, I can see the true grace within them, that they've been blessed, even though they maybe fight God or don't necessarily believe in God, but they know they're blessed, and they know every day is a struggle. But you see, one of the things that they do is they really do know themselves. Know thyself. Someone in recovery, well, initially they're rediscovering how to live again. In life, they're learning about themselves. And the ones that, I don't want to use the term make it, but the ones that are living it as best as they can struggle every day. Some days are easier, some days are harder. And that truly is life. Life is a struggle. And you know, just like I did the video on the number 4, how 4s are always tasks, trials. You know, A trial or a task can set someone back, anyone, the faithful or the recovering. But they face it. They walk it. So if you know someone that is going through recovery of any sort, just remember to bless them. You may not talk with them every day. You may not see them every day. But keep them in your heart every day. Because, see, as they are walking through rediscovering life and taking their life back, we're praying for their spirit and their soul. We're two-natured, flesh and spirit. So give them your support on the spirit side. Anyway, food for thought.